Hi, Jenny, and welcome back to our weekly show. It's so great to have you back.
Thank you for having me back. I'm very excited, as always, to be here.
So, Jenny, as always, we are doing our weekly visibility nuggets for busy people. What are we talking about today?
Now, today, we're going to talk about something. When I say this word, please don't switch off and stop listening, because it actually gets really juicy. This is all about how we interact with other people. Now, why is this even important? Whether you're doing this online or whether you're doing this offline, your interactions will form the basis of how you acknowledge people for who they are and where they are, regardless of the type of business you've got. It will acknowledge how you engage with them. And also, it will really cement strong and powerful connections. If you don't interact with people, you are, or you could be mistaken for one of those more arrogant entrepreneurs, one of those more kind of snob factor, or people can misjudge you, misappropriate who you are. And we never want that to happen. This is specifically important if you are a business owner who sells a service. So let me quantify that. So if you're a coach, if you're an author, if you are a consultant, if you give advice professionally, quite often you are selling a service to somebody that they can't even see. It's completely invisible. If you are a pen retailer, you can hold up the pen and say, have a look at the pen. Do you like the shape of it, the thickness of it? Do you like how it writes? But when you're selling a service, and although you might say, I'm an author, I'm selling my book, actually you're not. Before you even sell the book, you've got to get people to understand why they should even read the book, buy the book, okay? So you are selling something that's unseen. For this reason, your interactions are really important. But I also want to dispel a myth and put this completely to bed. Old school networking, connecting ways, visibility ways would have told you that you have to be a certain way. Now, let's just kind of expand on this. My background was in corporate England, in financial services. Quite often I would have to deal with brokers who were like a lot older than me, who'd been in banking for longer than I'd been alive. I would have to go and give presentations and talks to the board. So quite often the CEO, the chief financial officer, the COOs and all these really high level people. And one of the things that I was told back in the day was that there was a box, a professional box that I had to fit into to fit myself in and fit into their world. This includes all sorts of baloney, like how I spoke. If I had any expressions or sayings, I had to knock them out. I even had friends whose English was a second language that were told they had to get rid of their accents. In fact, I actually spoke to somebody who I didn't previously know about 6 weeks ago who had a really high level career in banking, and he was from Bristol, and they said, you know what, before we can put you in front of our clients, you need elocution lessons. We need to knock that accent out of you. And to me, that is horrendous. So whether, however you look, however you sound, whatever you believe in, do not take this in the wrong way. However you want to interact, you can actually interact these days as you. You don't have to fit into a box. And this is where I see, I call it, it's almost like car crash TV, call it car crash social media, or even car crash networking. Svietlana, you must have seen this hundreds of times, where someone almost feels like they don't know how to be in a room full of people, and they can offend people, they can upset people, and they think it's because they don't conform to the norm, when in fact it's just they don't know how to interact. So today is all around interaction, both online and offline. I'm going to speak first to the online piece, only because you're listening on the podcast, and also because people somehow think that the rules change because they're now online, and that they don't have to treat people with the courtesy they would if they saw the whites of their eyes face to face. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, sounds good. And I guess people online are usually a bit braver because they can't really in person say whatever they want, but online they become all brave because nobody sees them.
Exactly. They become a brave, faceless person, or so they think. Now, if your reputation is what precedes you when you enter a room, or even your reputation is what people say about you when you've left the room, then listen up to this. This is really, really important. So one of the things that I find that people miss a completely humongous trick on social media, and I'm reminded of this even as I speak just this morning in another group that's not even my own Facebook group. Somebody had been talking about how they've been really interactive in a group and shared a little bit about their private life. You know, they bought a dress and they had taken a picture of themselves with the dress and said that they were buying the dress because they had an international speaking gig. And a lot of people in the group, very supportive, went and made comments and everything underneath. And I was like, well done, that's brilliant. And they said, actually, Jenny, I remember you kind of having a word with me about this. And I remembered the conversation. And for most of us, it starts from a place like this. We want to go on social media. We want to sell our products and services because we've been told it's a great way to market, which it is. And we go into a Facebook group, we don't really know other people in the group, and we're like, hello, my name's Jenny Kovacs, I'm a visibility specialist. I can help you to raise your profile so your clients can find you more easily. Here's my website, www.iamthebeesknees. I am great. Go follow my stuff, like it, buy it, share it, love it. And then we sit back with a big cheesy grin like a 4-year-old and go, woohoo, I am so visible. People know who I am. I've just promoted myself. I'm so pleased. Well, I'm here to burst your bubble because what you have just likely done is really irritated the hell out of everyone in that group. And I know that you didn't mean to do it because there's a school of thought somewhere that says market yourself, promote yourself at every given moment. But here's the reason why that doesn't work online. People have become more relaxed. The rules have become more relaxed. The reason why that kind of approach typically doesn't work is because we've gone straight in with me, and that's not great. So we've inadvertently rubbed people up the wrong way. Now, Svietlana and I went to an event some years ago where the speaker came onto the stage, and one of the first things that the speaker did was talked about their designer house and their designer shoes and how brilliant and great they were. And you know what? The sad thing was, at least 95% of the room kind of gasped and went, I've got nothing in common with this woman. And the first thing they spoke about was themselves. So this is the online equivalent. When you go in, and by the way, I never, ever, ever post on an online forum in the example that I gave before. When you go into a group, if you're not sure how the land lies in the group, in order to interact in a really effective way for your business, go and read the rules of the page. Now, I'm sorry if you decided to join 250 groups. You chose to join the 250 groups. You need to get to know the 250 groups. So if you're about to post in a group and you don't know how things are, it's no longer acceptable to say, I'm posting this comment, please remove it if I've done something wrong. No, make the onus, go over to the description and make sure that you are within the rules of the group. People spend a lot of blood, sweat and tears putting together online forums, online groups, pages, Facebook pages, LinkedIn groups. They spend a lot of time doing that. They spend a lot of energy and sometimes money gathering that audience together. It's not for you to steam in there and start spamming their timeline. Don't be surprised if not only they get upset and throw you out, but if other people around you get upset. Now, especially in the UK here, us Brits can be very polite. A sign that you might have done this will be when your post has been viewed in a big group by at least 30 or 40 people and not one single person has even liked the comment. It's likely that no one is brave enough to say, thank you for sharing that, Jenny, but you know what? Tell us something about, tell us something about what you do. Get to know us first. It's like going out on a first date and saying, hello, will you marry me? No, I know there's about a 0.00001% of people that might have worked for, but on the whole, people say, well, at least buy me a drink first, take me out to dinner, you know. So don't make the same mistake when you're online. Treat it as if you walked up into a room of people. Now, if you saw people in a group, you didn't know what was going on, you've checked the rules and you still don't know what's going on, take the time, and this is one of the easiest engagement techniques, take the time to look down the timeline and read the stuff that you like. If you don't want to comment, here's what I would strongly advise you do. As you read down the timeline, if there are things that resonate with you and you think, yeah, I like the look of that and that makes me feel good reading it, then just like it. If you've got a little bit more time, then put a comment. Say, I love this and why. You know, I've gone into groups and said things like, love this, you're so singing from the same hymn sheet as me. That's it. Love a nice nutty ice cream, you know, flavoured ice cream. Whatever it is, no matter how random, start to make some form of interaction. You don't need to worry about posting. And, you know, if you are a member of like 250 groups, and this could take you some time, but at least choose 2 or 3 groups that you want to go in and interact. Choose to engage with people. Choose to acknowledge what they say before even thinking about posting. You know, if you do this for a week, you will really build your house on firm foundations, your visibility house on firm foundations instead of sinking sand. So just go and observe what happens, interact with people, chat to people. And if it's one of those groups where you get to share your stuff and you're just new, you don't need to make a sale. I remember being in a group where it was like a Monday sales day. I didn't interact with the group. I didn't know anyone in the group. So on the Monday, I just liked other people's things that they were selling, said, this is really great to see. As I'm new here, I just wanted to let you know this quick tip, and I just shared a tip. Okay, so really get interactive and engaged in the groups. And for those of you that have got your own groups, there's a whole nother podcast that we could do about that, but you'll definitely see it from a different perspective when you're the one that's having to ask people to stop spamming, or you're the one that is not getting the interaction that you want. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that's been useful, Svietlana.
Definitely useful. Definitely make sure that you use the etiquette online as well as offline, especially if you want people to keep interacting with you and to want to get to know you. You know, if you keep spamming places, you know, people will most likely not want to get to know you, which means they'll never buy from you.
Exactly.
It's been a great tip today, as usual, Jenny. Thank you very much for coming back on the show. It's great to have you as always, and I really look forward to our next week's tip.
Excellent. Bye for now.